If you're into the whole gold extraction and refining, there's some gold in all these little connectors here, so you guys should keep them. If not, snip them up. Board Sort I think pays about $1 per pound on these connectors, or any type of connector that has gold. Parallel ports, serial port cables. These guys too, they have some gold in them. If you look at them clearly, cut them, send it to Board Sort, and they'll pay you. Go. Take care of the power supply. Oh, there's another IDE cable. So we have the DVD drive. Wow, that didn't exist back then. So you have your CD drive here. This is actually worth taking out the board because they pretty much don't pay anything for this. You'll get scrap price, steel prices for that. Inside there's the board. I think they pay $1 or $2 for the board on Board Sort. So it's worth taking this apart and getting the board out. What's left is pretty much the motherboard. And as you can see, you have some aluminum, you have a little bit of copper. Those are really good. Actually, I would take this stuff out. I'm actually going to take that stuff out before I sell the board as whole. For the board as whole, I think you'll get about $2. It weighs approximately about a pound, so it's it's $2-3 a pound. I'm definitely gonna keep the board intact. I went through and tried the refining and whatnot. It really didn't work for me. I found it was too much time. Then you have the power supply up here. If it works, I would say put them in a pile like the fans. When you get a bunch of them, sell them, because you'll get a lot more money than the scrap value. Hey everyone, so I decided to put my printer video on hold just because I realized taking it apart would take quite a bit of time to shoot a video. So what I'm going to do is take it apart first and show you what's in that high quality printer I picked up. Instead I'm going to do a video on this PC over here. It's a P4, and I'll tell you what's inside and what's worth doing and what's worth not. So I already have this open over here. Let me slide this panel off. Not really worth selling, but there's plenty of gold, and obviously there's gold under the aluminum spread plate. You get quite a bit of money for one of the, I think it's like $5 a pound on Board Sort. Again, if you're into the refining and whatnot of gold, take out the gold pins. I personally keep them on. I don't find it's worth taking that stuff out time-wise, even though it takes seconds. There's not enough weight in there to warrant ruining the CPU and losing all the value of the CPU. Because from getting $5 a pound, you end up getting less because you took out the gold. Cables. See, now these IDE cables are usually really nice. If you're into the whole gold extraction and refining, there's some gold in all these little connectors here, so you guys should keep them. If not, snip them up. Board Sort I think pays about $1 per pound on these connectors, or any type of connector that has gold. Parallel ports, serial port cables. These guys too, they have some gold in them. So you have the heatsink, nice piece of aluminum. You could probably get about 50 to 60 cents on the pound. The fan, you should remove it, keep it. They sell pretty well on eBay if you collect a bunch of them. Like for about 10, 20 of them, you might get $30. So I suggest you keep those fans somewhere else instead of scrapping them. Unless they don't work, then you should scrap them with your copper bearing motors. Right, and we have the RAM, which is very valuable. Again, I did the math. You get for the gold pin, for the gold fingers, you'll get maybe a quarter for all of this. I did the math yesterday, and once you take out this, you get almost nothing for the board. From like $10 a pound for the full RAM, you get maybe 4, and all you get is a quarter for the gold fingers. So if you're not into refining, just put them in a pile, sell them complete. So if you go to boardsort.com, they pay you $5.25 for a whole cell phone per pound. This cell phone was about 4 ounces. So without doing any work, just chucking the phone in a box and sending it to them, you'll get about $1.30. Per ounce comes out to about 30 cents an ounce. And they pay about $10.50 per pound. One of these boards, there's not much weight to them, maybe 6 ounces. 0.4 to 0.6 ounces, which also comes out to about anywhere between 25 cents to 30 cents an ounce, just like giving them a whole cell phone. If you factor in the time it takes to take everything apart, it's kind of not worth it, because you obviously have to pay yourself. Time is money, so pretty much by undoing everything, you're getting no extra value. We've got this little card reader board. Fortunately, these aren't too valuable unless you get extremely lucky and you find someone that really needs one of these. These don't usually break down very often, or at all practically. This one has some good gold, definitely. Some scrap metal over here. So in each of these little metal, I guess, casings, there's definitely gold. There's some gold right there. All these connectors are gold. Little gold bits on the board. There's a few monolithic capacitors, some more gold here, the IC chips, so it's decent, nothing too special. The only thing that kind of fooled me about one of these boards was this here. These seem to be, I guess, brass plated, not fully brass, because if you put a magnet to them, there's actually some magnets. The magnets still kind of pull or stick to these, so they're definitely not brass. So I was collecting them at one point, and I was like, let's see if they actually are magnetic, or am I wasting my time? And wasting my time. Also, there's quite a bit of copper. These little guys here, these are all copper. These little small guys, there's plenty of them, and for some reason on the PlayStation, they're practically all huge. So the weight is pretty good on them, and I usually get about $4 per 4 ounces of these, and there's quite a few on the PlayStation. You obviously have all the ports. These all have gold in them. The hard drive port, I guess you can call it, that is gold. You have the USB ports in the front. Those have gold in them. And you have this little connector here. This one also has some gold in it, some gold pins. I just want to thank some of the guys already on YouTube doing scrap videos, like Mike the Scrapper and Moose Scrapper. Before them, I was actually throwing this stuff away. I deal with a lot of video game stuff, PCs and whatnot, and once they wouldn't work, I would put them in a box, leave them at the curb, and someone else was making money from scrapping. And I started, the whole reason I started scrapping is I thought to myself, these things must have some value somewhere, so started looking on YouTube, and I found those guys, and I started keeping all this stuff. My house, I would say my garage is jam-packed now, but it's worth it because there's quite a bit of money, and I can get at the copper pretty easy. Another thing these guys have quite a bit of is these guys over here. There's quite a few of these, and pretty much they're tantalum capacitors. There's a value on them. I haven't had much luck with them, but I've heard people get quite a bit of money on them. And also for the monolithic capacitors, obviously there's the palladium and the silver and the whatnot in those. So those you should keep, and I've had really good luck with them. So what I'm gonna do is take it apart and show you where there's some money in one of these things. So pop this little cover over here out, nice and simple. Pops out nice and easy. That's where the hard drive is. So you have some scrap value with this hard drive. Take out the power supply. Pretty easy. So this is one of the types of power supply you'll find in this type of PlayStation. This is the CECH A01. There's about 6 or 7 different of these models in different various PlayStation models. Surprisingly, I found that this top is aluminum, but as like the Blu-ray drive, I'm going to make another video on this. Now let's get to the main scrappable part here, which is the motherboard. Get rid of some of these screws. These are obviously aluminum, take them out, and then you have the chip, which has gold in it. You have a lot of monolithic capacitors. These little small guys, there's plenty of them, and for some reason on the PlayStation they're practically all huge, so the weight is pretty good on them, and I usually get about $4 per 4 ounces of these. If someone had already removed the little screw over here, so all you have to do is pop that out. This laser, this is the most interesting part of the Blu-ray drive. We have this here is magnetic again, so you have little magnets of what's somewhat here, and you have little itty bitty pieces of copper there. We have quite a bit of gold. All of this here is gold, but there's 2 diodes on this guy. I already took one apart just to show you guys. This is actually from another laser, but they're all pretty similar. There's this little guy here, this little diode. There you go. So there's a little bit of gold over there. There's a second one, which is pretty much the same thing. Got a little gold over here. Like you can see, there's some boards, whatnot. Not too much. And then we got this little spindle here, which is not much. A little motor, I guess. I'm sure there's some copper in here. There's gold in this little connector here. That's pretty much here. We have another little motor here. Your basic steel. This is stainless, little bars here, stainless steel. You got your screws, which are probably also stainless steel, because everything in here is rusted except for the screws and the bars. Well, it's pretty good.